My son Luke is achieving so much at National Star, far more than I think either of us ever thought was possible. National Star provides that perfect combination of meeting Luke's complex medical needs, his therapy needs, his educational needs inside and outside the classroom that enables him to grow and learn and become a perfectly rounded adult. So Luke was born full term, but unfortunately by emergency caesarean due to being a bit distressed. And it became quite obvious soon after he was born that he was having significant problems. He was fitting, he needed ventilating, and that he'd had a lack of oxygen during that time, which at 6 weeks old, while he was still in the special care baby unit, he had an MRI scan which showed that he had significant damage to his brain, which meant that he was going to have cerebral palsy, which was obviously going to affect him for the rest of his life. And actually at the age of 6 he was hospitalised due to the fact that an anti-epileptic medication that he was on had actually given him liver failure. So he was very, very poorly, actually in a coma, very jaundiced, yellow, in hospital. And they decided that his liver was not going to recover and that he wasn't going to pull through, wasn't going to survive. So he was transferred to a local children's hospice, where actually he got very good care, as did we as his family, and for what we thought was end-of-life care, his liver decided it was going to regenerate, and he pulled through, and here we are with him at the age of 22 and thriving still. So yeah, absolute fighter.
I wanted to come to National Star College because I wanted to live away from Mum for a little bit and be like other teenagers. I wanted to develop my independence and work on things by myself. I wanted to meet new people with the same difficulties as me, and it was important to be around more people who use an AAC device. I have access to group therapies, which I like, and I also get the chance to drive my wheelchair and use my standing frame.
So Luke obviously has complex sort of medical needs as part of his condition. He requires lots of medication, feeding, etc., etc. So the nurses within his residence, specialist nurses at National Star, are able to meet all those needs, and also within the right environment. So he has his own room, with his own ensuite, which enables all of those needs to be met with, dignity and privacy for him. So yeah, Luke's disabilities mean that he has to use an awful lot of equipment.
The best thing about living at Bradbury is that there is more space for my things. There are wide corridors for me to practice my new skills in. I enjoy living at Bradbury Gardens. I feel happy.
Luke's really keen to become as independent as possible. As part of this, he's learning to drive his own wheelchair using head switches. There are really wide corridors at his residence which enable him to have plenty of space to be able to do this. So exercise is really important to Luke, obviously to keep him as fit and well as he possibly can be. His physio helps him to do this by working with him in residence, and he uses his race runner, which he absolutely loves, and it's his, the first time he's been able to independently move himself around without using technology or switches. It's physically, he's doing it himself.
I'm most proud of how I have become more confident in making my voice heard using my AC device. I like sharing my news with everyone and saying what I think and what I want. I can also choose how I greet people in different places. I love seeing how my peers react when they see me in my race runner and driving my own chair.
So throughout Luke's life, he's had lots of challenges and lots of hospital admissions for ill health. However, since being at Bradbury Gardens at National Star, he has not had one hospital admission, and I am pretty sure that is because of the right mix of keeping him fit and well and healthy, that all of the therapists and the resident staff provide him.
Being at Bradbury Gardens has helped me to develop my independence because I have access to technology in my room that help to control my environment.
So without all of your generous support, places like Bradbury Gardens, those specialist residences, just wouldn't exist. which would be an absolute shame because they've made such a huge difference to Luke's life and had such an impact in a positive way. So thank you.
Please support National Star College so that other young people like me can make the most of their time at college.